Genetics has developed an entire toolbox of things that we can use to test theories of history. And if the Bible's a history book and genetics can test theories of history, we should be able to very carefully walk through some of these issues and actually test the Bible to see if it matches what we're discovering in science. There's a revolution right now happening in genetics. It's also impacting the field of archaeology. This revolution is called ancient DNA, or aDNA for short. It's a problematic field because it's changing a lot of things we thought were true. All of a sudden we're realizing they're not as true as we thought. But it's also a problem for Christianity and for people who believe the Bible, because the Bible claims to be a history book and ancient DNA is pulling up skeletons out of the historical closet that's causing us to ask a lot of questions. We're going to answer those questions and more in this analysis of ancient DNA. This is an exciting field, and we're going to learn a lot of very fascinating things over the next 45 minutes. I want to spend some time just going through a couple of case studies, just people groups across the world, and let's look and see what we've learned about them. Two geneticists, Slatkin and Racimo, they said this, 2016. We now know. I love that phrase. You know, when a scientist says we now know, you know what that means? It means we were wrong yesterday. But they don't like saying it that way. They say, we now know. The evolutionary time frame is directly contradicted by the presence of ancient DNA, but I also want to tell you to expect a few curveballs. I know that a lot of Christians are skeptical about this field. I know that. In fact, a lot of creationists and creationist geneticists like me have shied away from ancient DNA studies. Well, one reason is that you can't know the mutation rate because there's too many errors in the data, but you can tell, oh, this was a human being. Oh, this human being is more closely related to these human beings. And that tells us that ancient DNA, even if it does have problems, there are some aspects of it that are very trustable. But if I'm shocked there's DNA there, then the evolutionists must be completely incredulous. Early human history is chaotic. How does that impact our understanding of the Tower of Babel and the Table of Nations? Very interesting questions. This is new information, and we've already learned a lot of things. We said, what? That can't be true? We cannot totally put our faith in science, because when science changes, it can rip the rug right out from underneath us. Ancient DNA is a field we can grasp, we can bring in, and we can incorporate it straight into biblical history. You can pre-order Ancient DNA on creation.com/store.